Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon Buddies. What are we up to today, buddy?
Well, buddy, we got a pretty cool thing going on. We're gonna actually check out a bunch of different glasses.
This is all for science.
All for science.
Yes.
This is a big science project for adults.
Yeah. This all started with Neil came over with some sexy glasses, and it was like, I've noticed when we're, if you order something out, a lot of times it comes in more of a snifter style. We tend to always use the Glencairn, rocks glasses, etc. These were a gift, by the way, so just want to give a shout out to Sir Callanan, who gave me these.
They are cool glasses.
What we want to do is see what the difference is, what we notice, and possibly how can you use this as a way to make adjustments, get the most out of something, or tame something down, or maybe you're pairing it with something like we were discussing, possibly a cigar. Maybe you want it to be a little bit more mellow, or get certain notes out of it or less notes out of it to kind of go with whatever it is you're doing. So where do you want to start?
Let's start with the Glencairn.
All right, the Old Faithful.
The Old Faithful. So just to let you guys know, we are using Evan Williams Bottled in Bond in every one of these glasses.
Yeah, we're using the same one, so it's scientifically,
it's
accurate or whatever. All right, well, cheers, buddy. Let's
cheers. Nice. That was a nice.
That was a nice ring, man.
All right, so in the Glencairn, you always get a full nose. You're going to get everything that the whiskey has in a Glencairn. Literally everything. All the different notes, the alcohol, the sweetness, the spice, the oak. It's all going to be present in the Glencairn.
It really just shows off everything. So there's a reason why you tend to use it. Yeah.
It's a shower, not a grower.
Yep.
I don't even know if that makes sense. Does it?
Not really, but I know where you're going, so it's a stretch.
It is a stretch.
Which could be taken the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, I think we all are.
Carrying on. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the snifter. Now, I noticed a lot of times, go out to dinner or something. Yeah, I got to hold it like that, buddy.
Let's just warm it up.
That is the way whiskey comes a lot. If you order something neat, it seems to come in the snifter. What do we notice? We shall see.
Let's see the difference.
See, I get less spice on that.
Definitely less spice. For me, still a little bit more alcohol.
Yeah, I'm getting more of the sweet notes, a little bit more nuttiness coming through.
And definitely tamer.
Kind of knocks the spice of the stuff down a little bit. I don't know if that's why I'm noticing the sweetness more.
Probably, because then when the spice gets kicked out, it gets sent
There's
to
more room.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it gets sent to the curb.
I thought you say sent to the principal's office. Maybe.
It's definitely rounded. If you get like a really, really spicy whiskey, that might kind of take some of that spice and kick it down a little bit.
So if you got something that's a little on the spicy side, you want to tame it down, possibly take it out of the Glencairn, go snifter.
So now we're going to the Canadian Glencairn. It's almost kind of like if you took a Glencairn and you kind of blew it up and then flared out kind of your surface here and just kind of,
Kind of got the bottom of it of a snifter style.
Right. With more of a Glencairn kind of
shape.
Right.
The peanut butter note is really strong.
Very strong. It's almost straight up peanut butter.
No spice.
It just softened everything. Softened the edges in this bourbon. It's hard to even tell that this is a younger, because this is at least 4 years old, and it's hard to kind of tell the youth of this bourbon in this glass.
Oh, I can tell, buddy. It really changes the whole thing. It's much more rounded, like no spice now. No real alcohol.
No, the alcohol's gone. Spice is pretty, limited.
So now we go on to the rocks glass. Old movie star kind of look, digging it. Wow.
I barely.
Where does it go? Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone. Maybe if you were drinking like some real swill or some real, cheap stuff, or you're at somebody's house who only has bottom of the barrel
Oh yeah, right. That's
stuff. You might want to put it in a rocks glass and take the edge off of it.
I don't even know if I could tell it's a bourbon.
No, maybe not.
I don't think I could.
It's amazing how much. Okay, so now we did this just for grins and giggles. The old shot glass. There's plenty of people who drink whiskey this day.
A lot of people shoot whiskey and
To me, they're missing out on a lot.
True. Oh
This
yeah.
is
buddy.
just a vessel to get alcohol into your body.
It really is.
You know,
shoot it
you're not
down his throat.
appreciating anything. Yeah.
No.
It's more alcohol.
I do get the alcohol.
I mean, you can pick up some notes, but to me, it's kind of
It's just all the alcohol.
yeah, it just kind of killed everything, and it's just
Corn.
there's no real distinction. I don't feel like I could pour a bunch of different whiskeys and be like, oh, that's this
Yeah, no
one, or,
way.
oh, that's my favorite. It just seems to kind of just mud everything together.
A lot of people, when they get introduced to whiskey, a lot of times it is out at the bar and it's with shots, right? Let's do a shot of Jameson. Let's do a shot of Jack,
yeah.
right?
There you go.
And the problem with, I think, a shot glass is then your brain remembers what that experience was like, right? So us just smelling this, we're just getting alcohol. So I can understand too where people get this this really bad
kind of like mental perspective of
Right.
or idea of what whiskey is. So it's like, oh, you drink whiskey or you drink
it's like,
bourbon
that
because
stuff smells like
they were, shooting some garbage or just firing it back.
Yeah, you're smelling when you put it up to your mouth, right? You are smelling it. So then
Absolutely.
you're just smelling alcohol and just like corn or whatever it is,
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting out of this, and because you're taking out of a shot glass, right?
Right. Then you wake up the next day
Oh,
because you drank crappy bourbon or whiskey or whatever.
yeah, then
And you
it's
feel like dog crap. So then now that's another association to the shot glass and to whiskey.
I wonder if that's why Wild Turkey 101 gets its bad rap.
That could be because a lot of people are just shooting it.
Just shooting.
and
It sounds like Wild Turkey 101. It sounds like it's something you would be like, I just want to hair in my chest, and then and then it gets kind of that bad rap where it's like, oh, I don't want to drink that.
yeah, but if you put turkey into a good glass and you drink it, there's plenty going on there.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
So we're gonna start back at the Glencairn.
Yeah, let's do it, and we'll do a little bit of tasting here. Oh, thank goodness for the Glencairn.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of old faithful for us.
God, I mean, it brought everything back to life.
I'm going for it. The sweetness is there, the spice is there.
Everything.
Yeah, it's pretty balanced, pretty good.
Yeah, I think what the Glencairn really does is just brings everything that every little corner that this whiskey has to offer. It's almost like when you look at a person and you're looking at them up, from head to toe, looking at every angle. This is kind of turning a little weird, actually.
I was just gonna ask you, is that how you when does
Yeah,
one do this?
I just look at everybody like this.
Studying them,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Hey, that's your thing.
But that's the Glencairn. It's almost like a little bit of a creeper, right? Staring at it a little, a little too long.
Spending some time with it, getting to
Yes.
know it. Let's kind of
That sounds better, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go that
derail here, and so this is when you're gonna study it. It kind of condenses everything so you can examine it.
Right. Like a microscope.
Microscope. Condensing was the wrong word. Tuning in. Honing in. All right. Moving on.
Moving on. Moving on. What's
The ye old snifter.
That is insane how it definitely changed it.
It took a little spice away, a little bit more rounded, but it sort of softened it.
It definitely softened it.
But it
it's
didn't.
not
To
as
me,
harsh.
it didn't. It's almost smoothed it out. When I
Yeah.
say softened it, I don't want to detract anything. I actually think it's really good in that. It is a little young, so it does have a little bit of those.
It's got
that little young snap to it. I feel like you do lose spice. So are you losing something? But you might want to do that deliberately, right? You might have one that's a little too spicy or a little whatever, and it's a good way to knock the edge off. But I don't really feel like I lost anything.
No, it's almost like this whiskey put on a different shirt. It's still the same whiskey, but hey, it's got a little bit of a different look. Just like people, we wear different shirts or pants or whatever, and it's still underneath, we're still solid.
And naked. All right, moving on. The Canadian Glencairn. These are cool.
Glencairn. Yeah, I love
It almost
the look.
looks like something you'd see in a lab.
It does.
Well, what kind of do? This is sort of a lab.
This is the laboratory of bourbon drinking.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I can do better than that.
You could. For me, really mellowed it out.
Yeah.
and almost kind of rounded the edges. It almost gives it like a cool, like mineral water kind of feel on the tongue.
Just sanded down the edges. It's almost like a blend in between the Glencairn and the snifter. It's almost kind of in between because I feel like you get a teeny bit more notes, but it's softer.
This is enjoyable though. Like I really like that.
It's got a great feel to this glass. It's really doing wonders to this Evan Williams Bourbon Buddy.
With the bigger glass, it's not quite as a fine motor skill.
Right.
So if you've been sitting around, hanging out with your buddies, having some bourbon, it might not be a bad idea. Something you can maybe use two hands if things.
If you're in the laboratory,
if it gets to be a long night. Yeah. If you're in the lab too long, you might need two hands.
Yeah, it's got very pleasant notes on the nose and on the palate. I really enjoy that with this glass.
Yeah, see, to me that almost opened up some of the sweetness and stuff too.
These honey and caramel notes kind of kick in.
Yep.
And it's just really doing wonders for that bourbon. I really like that.
So far, I'm not saying anything. All right, moving on.
Dare. Rocks glass?
Rocks glass.
No nose. No nose rocks glass.
For having no nose, it doesn't drink bad. It seemed to tame it down a little bit. Now, I don't know if that's because we're losing anything, just because of the size of the opening, the top. I don't know. I don't know if it's maybe I'm not getting as much concentrated through my nose as
definitely
in the flavor.
Definitely it.
But now I am getting a sweet finish. That's rising up more on this than any other one.
When you look at all these glasses, you look at the top of the glasses, the Glencairn is definitely the most narrow, and then it kind of, as it works down, it's getting wider. And when you have that wider opening, you are getting more air. So the more air that you're hitting there, space for that alcohol to evaporate off, you are gonna, maybe you're picking those sweeter notes up on the taste.
But we didn't get to the shot glass.
No,
so Jesus.
And are we gonna shoot the shot glass, buddy?
I don't know.
I did put only a little bit in here. So.
Yeah, I got a bug in mine.
It's all right. It's a little.
It's like
protein.
the 5th bug tonight.
I've had no bugs in mine.
He's swimming to the side. All right, here we go. You know what? I'm gonna do a little sip and study it just like I would anything else.
I agree with you. Let's do it.
Yeah, here we go. He's not in there anymore.
No.
No. Protein. Okay. I'm getting real heavy corn.
Very heavy corn. Sweet corn in the front.
Yep.
I don't get anything really in the back.
And all the other complexities and notes and everything are just seem to be gone.
Alcohol corn. Same thing on the nose. Exactly what I would expect from the nose.
We took a different whiskey and put them side by side, like a 101, something in the price point of this or whatever. Would we be able to tell the difference between the two? Or does a shots glass literally kill it to the point where all whiskey's the same and people think that?
It's a good thought.
You know, it raises that question. It's like, what happens if you put, 101 in there or, something around the same proof and just try it? Would you, I'm sure somebody would be able to tell the difference, but how much? And is it really kind of what's, like you say, giving whiskey kind of a bad name?
I think glassware has a lot to do with your experience. Your experience is involved in all of your senses: the smell, the taste, the sight, right? And I feel like with whiskey, when you put it in a glass, as we have seen here, this is the same bourbon. And we literally have had a totally different experience in every single glass.
I remember ordering something, because a lot of times I'll try things when we're out that I've never had. That way I'm not, you pay a lot for the glass, but you're not really committed to a whole bottle of something you do or don't like. And I can see why you may buy something and have it in a snifter and come home and maybe you don't have a snifter and now you're like, I just thought this stuff was better. Or I remember it being better. Or you write something off as in, oh, well, that stuff was garbage. I had it and I hated it. It could easily be, the glassware could be a factor. I'm not saying that's the only thing. You may come home and put it in a bunch of different glasses and still hate it or still love it.
I think you make a great point, and I have to agree with you 100,000,000%. And I think it's a huge factor that maybe you don't really think about all the time. I think that's happened actually with me where I got Angel's Envy Rye. I was in New York City and I got it out and it came in just like a rocks glass. And I was not impressed by it. And I was just like, this, and it had this real funky dill thing going on. And I was like, I thought the bartender, he poured it in like a shot glass that was tainted with something else.
Not to cut you off, but
No,
I've
please.
ordered like a good scotch one time, and then
Yeah.
I got it, and I was like, wasn't that what I was told was a good scotch? This was a few years ago. I got it, and I'm like, how do I know they really gave me that?
Yeah, you gotta
They
watch.
could have, given me a scotch, but a lesser one on the list. Could the glassware be an issue? Possibly. Have you had it since?
No, and that's why I really want to just grab a bottle of it, or it is a little bit of a little expensive, so I'm worried because it's like, here I didn't like it. Why am I going to spend almost $100 on it?
Well,
And,
maybe if you go somewhere and you ask for it in a snifter.
That's
Did
true.
Did it come neat?
It came neat. I ordered it neat. I asked for a Glencairn and they didn't have it, which I think is. I think the more that you know what glassware is out there, I think it's very key for you when you go out to a bar. Ask them, hey, do you have a Glencairn? You got to know what glass you're comfortable with. So if it is a snifter that you're kind of really comfortable with, and you go out and be like, hey, do you have a snifter that you can pour that in for me?
Every time I've ordered whiskey out, it usually comes in a snifter.
Yeah.
Quick question for you,
Yes, sir.
since you're the man of the hour. If you were to say, I'm drinking this tonight, what glass are you picking?
The glass that I would pick if I'm drinking Evan Williams bottled and bond, my mood is like, I just want to hang out with good buddies, hence buddy, and I just want to just kind of have it as a background piece. I still want to enjoy the whiskey, but I just want to kind of chill with everybody and just talk. Honestly, I'm going to go with the Glencairn Canadian.
Knew it. I knew you were going
Because-
to pick that because it's kind of the happy medium.
It is the happy medium, and because honestly, it feels good in my hands, which is just a big factor, and also it retains a little bit of.
Carry on.
I'm not gonna be able to carry on now.
Okay, feels good in your hands. Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
Feels good in my hands, and honestly, I'm not gonna be able to keep going. I can't
You
keep
can
going.
do it, buddy. You can do it.
What ends up happening is that it kind of softens everything to where you're not thinking about it too much, right?
Right.
Where the Glencairn, I love a Glencairn, trust me, but it makes me go, ooh, I'm gonna analyze this, and I might not pay attention to my friends, and I might not pay attention to what they're doing because I'm geeking out. Whereas
Right.
this kind of forces me to go, all right, chill.
So you're taking it out from under the microscope and you're spending some time with it. You're just
Right.
but you're enjoying it for all the elements that are there, but not studying it, not critiquing it, not
Yeah.
doing anything other than pulling yourself out of that and enjoying the moment you're in.
Hanging out, enjoying. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. You totally summed it up.
Yeah, I would say for me, I'm kind of between the two. As far as the rocks glass, sometimes I do just pour it in a rocks glass and enjoy it. Probably say the best of all the worlds is for me tonight, just hanging out. This, if I'm studying that, this isn't a bad call. There is a place for that. You know what I mean? So
If I was just kind of like
Yeah.
a summer night where it's
This-
hot as hell out, and I want to throw just like a big ass ball in there, like an ice ball in there, and I'm just like, or sphere, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
I'll throw it in a rocks glass, no problem, and just enjoy it.
give these a try. Are you able to put the link? Put a
Yeah,
link for these?
I'll put the link right below to these Glencairn glasses.
He is
the
able to
Canadian
put the link.
Glencairn. Yeah, I'll put the link in there. Yeah, check them out. They got a cool look.
And possibly a snifter if you don't have one.
Yeah.
Pick one or two up just to have them, just to play with it. It's not
Sorry.
on your own time. In the privacy
Not-
of your own home.
Yeah, don't play with it in front of people.
Yeah, it's definitely worth giving it a shot and kind of just seeing. Man, this thing's a little maybe it's a little spicy or a little whatever for the Glencairn. I'm gonna try it in this, and that kind of opens up some doors.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't feel so bad about a bottle you bought and you're not crazy about it if you could find a glass that it works in or at least helps. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yes,
we
I appreciate
for
you,
everybody
buddy.
watching, everybody tuning in. We're having a lot of fun and we really appreciate you guys. So from the Bourbon Buddies, thank you and
Thank
cheers.
you, guys. Cheers.